Hi, and welcome to Money Sense. This is the channel where I talk about all things related to finance to help you build your wealth. And today I want to divert a little bit and talk about a topic that is directly related to finance, but it can also be applied to a whole lot of other areas of your life. And that is how to stay on top of a goal or a milestone when you get knocked off the saddle, so to speak. When everything just goes wrong, it doesn't go the way you want, and you just feel like going, that's it. I give up. I've tried so many times and it's just not working out. And that sense of perseverance is sometimes really difficult to take in and begin to, climb back on that horse, so to speak, and begin plowing ahead. So with that, let's get right into it. Again, thank you for joining me today here on Money Sense. And I first want to do a shout out to my subscribers to this channel. I really appreciate each and every one of you because time is the most valuable commodity, unequivocally. And the fact you're taking 12 to 14 minutes or so out of your day to watch my YouTube videos, that means a lot to me. And when I decided to do this channel, and I'm going to tell that story in a few minutes, one of the things that I set out to do was I simply want a channel that gives you lessons learned that I have, gathered over the years from the mistakes I've made in finance, pass along to you the knowledge that I'm getting from the sources in which I read and listen and follow, and allow that information to help you make better financial decisions so you can grow your wealth, get out of debt, and if anything, live a more bountiful life with the resources that you have. I've made a lot of mistakes over the years and I've learned a lot from them. I'm 54 years old. And so that's what I want to do, is bring that information to this platform to help you. You're never going to get spam from me to buy my webinar or to buy my book or listen to my latest podcast. Nope, I do 2 videos a week on this platform simply to help you build your wealth. My full-time job is in the biotech industry. That's what I do for an income, and I do work in a financial related role. But again, this channel is really just a dream, which I'm now going to share the story of because it ties into this whole idea around perseverance and not giving up. Now, one of my favorite books is by the late Stephen Covey. He wrote this, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, many, many years ago, and it's been on my bookshelf for over 2 decades. And there's so many great principles in here, but one of them that I want to touch on is this: setting your personal vision. When you think about that, your personal vision, it is very personal. Everyone has their own script, you might say, for the vision they have for their life. But what ends up happening many times, it certainly has happened to me, is we set this vision, we set out what we want to do, and then things just don't go so well. You don't get accepted into that college that you had your heart set on. A relationship goes sour and that person leaves you. The job doesn't work out. The promotion doesn't happen. The illness comes. You don't win the race. All these sorts of things can just become these very bad reruns, like shows we don't like or songs that we hate that just roll around in our head and keep us from moving forward. Now, for me, I've always had a passion for economics. I can remember when I was about 9 years old, sitting in my dad's old Ford F-150 pickup truck and turning the AM dial to New York 1060 to listen to the Dow Jones Industrial Average because they announced it at 5 minutes before the hour. Now, when I was 9 years old, I didn't know what the Dow was, but I found it fascinating that every day it changed. It was up 10 points, it was down 15. Now, this is 1976, so, the Dow at that time was under 1,000 points. So I've always had this love for the economy and finance, and I went on to do my master's in business at Johns Hopkins, and I've been in a corporate operations role for 30 years. I manage a very large budget for a biotech company, and so this whole topic has just been one I've loved. I read lots of books on finance and the economic world, and I follow the Federal Open Market Committee. I find out what's happening in Washington that could affect taxes and that could affect the way stocks are going to trade. I follow many different markets, whether it's cryptocurrencies or derivatives, stocks, bonds, you name it. And so all that love and passion of economics and finance led to where I am today because I've also always had a passion for the arts, whether it was creating music, writing a book, or even being involved in theater when I was very young. You see, I launched this channel in November of 2019. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I made a few videos that really had no rhyme or reason, you might say. I was just trying to test out what YouTube was. And then the pandemic came and everything went into lockdown, including many of our personal lives. And then around Christmas of this past year in 2020, my daughter Abigail, she said, "Daddy, you should do a video on helping people with their money." And so I took her advice and I launched this channel of Money Sense on January 3rd of 2021. That was when the first Money Sense episode came on about the Georgia elections. And it was the inspiration of my daughter that led to this channel being here today. Now, I have a lot to learn. There are many YouTubers that I follow, like Graham Stefan and Meet Kevin and Minority Mindset and many others that are really good. They're at the top of their game. And I don't intend to copy those people. I intend to be myself, but I learn from them because they're experts in what they do. And so here's a couple things I want to share with you that could help you if there is a dream or a goal that you're chasing after or you want to chase after, but you've got those negative reruns playing in your head saying you can't do it. But the point is that what we have to do is every single day, one thing toward your goal. I don't care how small the step is. If you do one thing every single day, it begins to add up and add up and add up. Now, I have this device here. It's a Remarkable. It's basically a digital tablet. And every day I write on this Remarkable something to do to improve my YouTube videos. I actually watched the last one that I did and I critique it and I go, oh, the lighting was terrible. The audio wasn't good. My thumbnail sucked. I evaluate myself. And then the next video, I aim to make a better thumbnail, get the audio better. For example, on the video that I launched on Monday about the stock market crashes of the past, the audio wasn't so good and the lighting wasn't very good. So I went out and got some things that will fix that. You see, this is what it is. It's a constant sanding of the wood. If you think about that, you start out at 400 grit and then you get to 300 and then you get to 200 and then 100 and you just keep polishing and polishing. So let's say you want to lose weight or you want to ride your bike across an entire state or maybe the whole country. You want to learn to cook something new. You want to learn how to knit a sweater or maybe write a blog or start a YouTube channel. No matter what it is, if you think you can't do it, well, then you won't. But if you start out every day and do one task, one little thing towards learning how to knit or losing some weight or writing a blog or whatever it is, within a few months, your brain starts to pivot. It starts to alter its means of looking at the world. And suddenly you start thinking about that goal a little bit more often because you're doing these small baby steps on a day-to-day basis. That's what leads to what Stephen Covey's talking about. Then you take that personal vision and you apply those 7 habits that he outlines in this book, and you'll be amazed at what can happen. But here's one thing that I want you to just remember. If there's anything about this video that I want you to remember, it's this. Different is better than better. Let me repeat that. Different is better than better. In other words, if you are different and you come across doing something in an entirely different way than anyone else, that can be the thing that people latch onto. Now, let's come back to my YouTube channel. Now, I know that I need to get to 1,000 subscribers because, number one, I can't have the community page until I do that. Number two, I know the algorithm does not push content of those channels that aren't at 1,000 subscribers to the degree it does those who have achieved beyond 1,000 subscribers. I know this. I've studied a lot about YouTube. And my daughter Abigail, who I was talking about earlier, she's awesome. She'll go in every time I post a video and she'll write a comment and she'll give me a thumbs up. And it just makes me feel so like on fire to make the next video because I have a fan, and that is my daughter. And so this is the kind of thing we have to think about, is no matter what we're going to do, if we just share that with one person who could be that cheerleader that says, I believe in you, and that alone can be enough motivation for you to just keep pushing ahead and keep pushing ahead, because you have that person in your back pocket that they're all out for you. They've got your back and they believe in what you're doing. It's really, really important. And again, in my case, I know that I have a marathon to run here. To get to over 1,000 subscribers on YouTube is not easy to do. And I had someone say to me, you put all this time into these videos. I mean, it could take you a year and a half to get to 1,000. I mean, are you willing to do that? And I said, yes, because I know that my intent is to help people. And I believe that karma works. And if you help people, then they'll realize that. I mean, people are smart, right? You can't pull the wool over the eyes of most individuals. And I can say this, that the YouTube channels that I enjoy are the people that are just everyday folks trying to help. There's one of my favorite channels is about this guy who bought this ghost town in Cerro Gordo, California.
Hello there. Welcome to Cerro Gordo, California. This is my 10th month living up here in this former mining town. I think it was my best month yet.
And he lives there by himself, and he's been there for almost 10 months. And it was his dream to buy a property like this and bring it back in terms of its history. And I love his channel. I watch every video end to end. They're just so exciting to me. They're adventurous, and just seeing that man achieve his dream and share it with the world is awesome, right? But I bet you there was a time he thought he would never be able to do that, when he was living in Texas and he was, thinking about this dream and trying to make it happen, and so many obstacles knocked him down. But now he's there. And the same can be for you in your situation, whether it be a failed relationship or you didn't get into that school, like I mentioned. You can always turn that around. Here's a little backstory. I was rejected by Johns Hopkins when I was 17 and had applied for my undergrad. Well, when I was 40, I applied for grad school and they accepted me. So the key takeaway again from this video is, number one, think about your personal vision. Write it down. Number two, different is better than better. You don't have to be better than someone else or do it better. You have to do it different. Okay, that's what will set you apart. And the other thing I want to mention is I truly appreciate those who have decided to watch Money Sense, and it does mean a lot to me. And I intend to put a video out every Monday and every Friday, and I will be covering the topics related to finance, the stock market, the bond market, what's going on in Washington. There's a lot this year with the Biden administration coming in. A lot of tax laws are going to be impacted, and a lot to share there. I believe the markets are going to be entering some periods of high volatility. I'm talking about the stock market in particular. And all these sorts of things I read about day in and day out. I read about 4 hours a day of financial information, and I want to share that with you in very easy to understand video segments so that you can make better decisions for your wealth strategy. And with that, again, I want to thank you for watching my channel. And if you have any friends that would be interested in a financial channel like this, if you wouldn't mind sharing so I can get to that 1,000 subscribers, hopefully by the spring, because I really want to have that community page on my channel and be able to finally get my material into more people's hands. So I would just appreciate any help that you might be able to give me. And hopefully by the end of the year, there'll be some things that I have taught you that have helped. And teacher learns more than student, because when I prepare a video, I do a lot of research and find out what the facts and figures are. And that really actually ends up helping me. So with that, I will see you on the next video, and be well and prosper.